Assalamu alaikum dear viewers. Today we will discuss some more kinds of verbs. We have already discussed its two main kinds, that is main verb and helping verb. Uh, we have also discussed two types of helping verbs, that is primary auxiliary verbs and modals. Now today we will discuss uh, regular verbs and irregular verbs, and then after that we will discuss transitive and intransitive verbs. First of all, we will discuss what is a regular verb. We have already discussed that there are five forms of main verbs. Maximum verbs have five forms. uh, First form, then we have singular form, then we have second form, then we have third form, then we have past participle form. Those verbs whose first form and past participle form, that is second form and third form, are formed by adding ed. वो वर्ब्स जिनकी सेकंड फॉर्म और थर्ड फॉर्म बनाने के लिए हमें उनके लास्ट में ईडी ऐड करना पड़ता है, उनको हम रेगुलर वर्ब्स कहते हैं. दिस इज सिंपल. फॉर एग्जाम्पल वर्क, उसकी दूसरी फॉर्म है वर्कड, उसकी तीसरी फॉर्म है वर्कड. दोनों फॉर्म्स में हमने लास्ट में ईडी ऐड किया है. देन वी हैव अनदर वर्ब दैट इज कुक, कुकड, कुकड, वॉश, वॉशड, वॉशड, act, acted, acted, close, closed, closed. अगर आप देखोगे तो ये तमाम पांच के पांच वर्ब्स उनकी पास्ट फॉर्म और पास्ट पार्टिसिपल फॉर्म बनाने के लिए हमने उनके लास्ट में ईडी ऐड किया है. ऐसे तमाम वर्ब्स जिनकी पास्ट फॉर्म और पास्ट पार्टिसिपल फॉर्म बनाने के लिए हमें ईडी ऐड करना पड़ता है, उनको हम रेगुलर वर्ब्स कहते हैं. In the same way, these verbs, that is bake, behave, compare, die, disturb, try, fix, follow, fry, hunt, invite, jump, knock, love, etc. We can add more examples to this number. There are many irregular verbs in English language, hundreds of regular verbs which can be changed to past form and past participle form by adding ed at their end. Now the fourth kind, that is irregular verbs. irregular verbs बिल्कुल रेगुलर वर्ब्स का अपोजिट है. इसमें हमें पास्ट फॉर्म और पास्ट पार्टिसिपल फॉर्म बनाने के लिए ईडी इस्तेमाल नहीं करना पड़ता है, बल्कि ये अलग तरीके से होता है. इसमें ज़्यादातर तीन तरीके होते हैं. मैंने तीनों तरीके के एग्जाम्पल्स दिए हैं. दोज वर्ब्स विच फॉर्म देयर पास्ट एंड पास्ट पार्टिसिपल फॉर्म्स इन ए डिफरेंट वे, not like those regular verbs. They form their past participle forms and past forms in a different way. For example, some verbs have all the three forms same. For example, cat, cat, cat. Then we have put, put, put. Then we have bet, bet, bet. But some forms have two forms same. For example, sing, sang, sang. No, these have all the three forms different. Sing, sang, sung. Then we have run, ran, run, do, did, done, is, was, been, fall, fell, fallen, write, wrote, written, go, went, gone, come, came, come, beat, beat, beaten. Then we have creep, crept, crept. If you see the list, there are three types of verbs in this list. Some have all the three forms same. Some have two forms same. Some have none form. That is, all three forms are different. सो ये जो इरेगुलर वर्ब्स है उनकी जो पास्ट पार्टिसिपल फार्म्स है और पास्ट फार्म्स है उनके लास्ट में हमें ईडी ऐड नहीं करना पड़ता है, उनकी अलग से बनती है. कुछ वर्ब्स की तीनों फार्म्स अलग है, कुछ वर्ब्स की तीनों फार्म्स सेम है, कुछ वर्ब्स की दो फार्म्स सेम है. दिस इज इरेगुलर वर्ब. Some irregular verbs have all three forms same, some have two forms same, and some have all forms different. Now, the fifth kind, that is transitive verbs. Transit. Those verbs that only make senses if they exert their action on an object. ऐसे तमाम verbs जो कोई काम ऐसा काम दिखाते हैं जिसमें काम किसी ऑब्जेक्ट पर होता है, इसमें ऑब्जेक्ट जरूरी है। ऐसे वर्ब्स, ऐसे एक्शंस जिसमें काम किसी ऑब्जेक्ट पर हो, जिसमें कोई काम ऑब्जेक्ट रिसीव करता है, ऐसे वर्ब्स को हम ट्रांजिटिव वर्ब्स कहते हैं। ट्रांजिटिव मीन्स पासिंग ओवर। Here the action passes. That is very important. Here the action passes from the subject to the object. As you know, subject is the doer of an action, while as the object is the receiver of an action. It may be a human being also, sorry. It may be a man, it may be a woman, it may be a child. कोई भी हो सकता है, इंसान भी हो सकता है, नॉन लिविंग थिंग भी हो सकता है, ऑब्जेक्ट। Transitive verbs are not just verbs that can take an object, but they demand objects. जब हम उनको इस्तेमाल करते हैं, they demand objects. He broke. For example, he broke. What he broke? He broke a box. ये डिमांड करता है, ये मांगता है एक ऑब्जेक्ट। Transitive verbs are not just verbs that can take an object, but they demand objects. Without an object, the sentence seems to be incomplete. बिल्कुल ये incomplete sentence लगता है जब तक कि इसमें कोई object ना हो। For example, she sang a song. He broke a TV. He threw the ball. She loves rainbows. The girls carry water to their village. Mira conveyed the message. He spoke the truth. The driver stopped the train. Each of the verbs in the above sentences have objects that complete the actions of verbs. If the objects were taken out, अगर हम कोई उनके इन सेंटेंस से ऑब्जेक्ट निकालते हैं, the results will be illogical and questions will be raised in the mind of the reader. For example, he threw. ये इनकम्प्लीट सेंटेंस है, इसमें पूरा माने नहीं है। थ्रू व्हाट? उसने फेंका, क्या फेंका? He threw what? Those verbs which make senses only when object is there, though these are called transitive verbs. Now the sixth one, that is intransitive verbs. Intransitive verb is that verb that shows an action which does not pass from subject to object. It makes sense without an object. We don't need objects in these sentences. The sentence is complete without an object. We don't need objects in these sentences. For example, they jumped. The dog ran fast. A light was shining. They worked hard. She smiled. None of the above verbs, that is jumped, ran, shining, worked, smiled, require an object for the sentence to make sense. उनको माने के लिए, उनको complete sense के लिए object की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती है. They all make sense without an object. They are usually followed, this is very important point, they are usually followed by a complement. Complement आपको याद रखना है, it is a word, it is a phrase or a clause that follows a verb to add more information. ये जो verb के बाद हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं to make it more informative, to make it more complete, to make it complete rather. ऐसी इंफॉर्मेशन, ऐसा वर्ड, ऐसा जुमला जो हम वर्ब के बाद इस्तेमाल करते हैं, जो सेंटेंस को कंप्लीट करता है, उसी को कम्प्लीमेंट कहते हैं. देयर आर many main these categories of this complement. We have objects also, we have object complements, we have adjective complements, we have subjective complements, we have adverbial complements also. We will discuss that in another topic, inshallah. None of the above verbs require an object for the sentence to make sense. They all make sense without an object. अगर उनके दे आर यूजुअली फॉलोड बाय कम्प्लीमेंट. अगर दीज इंट्रांजिटिव वर्ब्स के लास्ट में कोई जो चीज़ हम ऐड करते हैं, दैट इज़ नॉट एन ऑब्जेक्ट, दैट इज़ ए कम्प्लीमेंट. There is a difference between object and complement. We will discuss this in another video. Now the most important point here is a number of English verbs can only be intransitive. Maximum verbs, we can use them intransitive as well as transitive. But in both forms, we can use them in both forms. We can use them in transitive as well as intransitive form. But there are certain verbs in English language that can be only intransitive. That means they can never be used in a transitively. That is, they will never make sense paired with an object. For example, arrive, die, fall, sleep, lie, come, smile, go, etc. There are some more examples. For example, we cannot arrive. We cannot arrive. We cannot use an object after this arrive. And so we cannot die something. We cannot use an object after the verb die. These are a list of verbs which are always used intransitively. That means they never take an object after them. Now, one more important point, that is there are some verbs which are maximum verbs. There are maximum verbs which can be classified, which can be used both transitively as intransitively, depending upon how they are used in a sentence. For example, I have given here some examples. The first column have those verbs which are used transitively, and the second column has those verbs which are used intransitively. First one, the horse kicked the man. Here the verb kicked has been used transitively. It has the object man after the verb. Then the same way that is kicked, this horse never kicks. यहाँ ये जो kicks है, it has been used intransitively because no subject follows after it. In the same way, he spoke the truth. The truth is object, but he spoke loudly. Here we have no object. That means spoke has here been intransitively used. In the same way, she left the keys on the table. After he cleaned up, he left. Left has been used transitively as well as intransitively in these two sentences. She reads a book, or we can say she read a book. She read very quickly. She read very quickly. She read a book. She read very quickly. Read in the first sentence is used as transitively, but in the second sentence it has been used intransitively. I wrote a letter to him. He wrote cleanly. The driver stopped the train. The train stopped suddenly. The boys fly their kites. Birds fly in the sky. He drives a car. He drives very fast. He drives a car. Car is an object, but in this sentence we have no object at all. She reads a book every month. She reads loudly. He ran the show. He ran quickly. Then we have he could not start the lawnmower. The race starts in 10 minutes. Then the last one, he changed the color of the paint, and he has changed a lot since he got married. I will repeat again. For example, let us take this question, this sentence number 4. She reads a book. मैंने पहले ही बताया है कि ऐसा वर्ब जो ऐसा काम दिखाता है जो किसी ऑब्जेक्ट पर होता है. शी रीड्स ए बुक, वो किताब पढ़ती है, ऑब्जेक्ट पर काम करती है. बगैर ऐसा वर्ब जो काम दिखाता है लेकिन वो किसी ऑब्जेक्ट पर नहीं होता है. शी रीड्स, यहाँ शी रेड वेरी क्विकली, उन्होंने क्विकली बहुत जल्दी जल्दी किताब पढ़ी, लेकिन शी डिड नथिंग, उन्होंने किसी ऑब्जेक्ट पर एक्शन नहीं की, कोई काम नहीं किया. दैट इज हियर रेड हैज बीन यूज्ड intransitively. So we have discussed 4 kinds of verbs today, that is regular verbs, irregular verbs, transitive verbs, intransitive verbs. Now we have 2 kinds of more verbs left, or we will discuss them in another video. Till that, goodbye.